Emiratis are bathing in gold. Most of the time they are super rich, they drive super cars, but we think that they don't have to work.
No, actually, it's not the case. We are people like other people. In Arab culture, we see the guest like blessing.
Oh. Meet Mona, an Emirati woman, a mother, a speaker, and a lifelong learner who recently completed her doctorate. But behind her success are difficult choices, sacrifices, and the journey of finding herself again. In this conversation, we challenge common myths about Emiratis, discover the warmth of Emirati culture, and speak honestly about marriage, motherhood, career, and a woman's identity. What happens when a woman gives everything to others and finally asks, "Where am I?" When we come home, we want our man to take charge.
Yes.
Men are not upping the game.
I had to choose between my career or my kid, you know? So I obviously instinctively I picked my kid, and I've left my career. I've given so much to others. Where am I in this equation?
My wife, my two daughters, I am not worried at all.
Now she should get married. My mother said, no, why she should get married? I want her to go to college. I just recently finished my doctorate, actually. It doesn't matter who you lose if you have found yourself.
One thing which everybody thinks of Emirati people, especially us who are obviously from other countries, that Emiratis are bathing in gold. Most of the time they are super rich,
Yes.
they drive super cars, and they have mansions and palaces. Of course they have, but we think that they don't have to work. Please break this myth for all those who are watching, that Emirati people and women as well, they work, they have to work.
Thank you so much, Ali, for inviting me to your podcast. I'm very glad to be here.
Pleasure.
Answering back your question is like, no, actually, it's not the case. We are people like other people. And why I mentioned I'm from the Northern Emirate, because even like, you know, if you look at any country, for example, there are areas, there are, localities. So for mostly in the UAE, the thing is, mostly the capital, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, those kind of areas, you may find more wealthy people or like,
men, yes.
but I'm not saying the other Emirates are not, but it's like even this is distributed. And regardless now whether the person has come from wealthy family or not, or everyone would work. Like, you know, how work is important in our life. People will work. And we have, alhamdulillah, a government, a leadership that supports that, whether it's for men or women especially. They encourage women to be educated. They encourage women to go and work in all the ranks. You know, we have a lot of women holding leadership positions in the UAE.
True, very true.
So we work for like our own growth, for our own achieving, becoming something in life, mostly why people work, to leave an impact. And also it is like paying it forward for our government. You know, it's like they have done so much for us. We would like to work. We would like to really make the UAE's name the best. As we know in our country, we would like to pay it forward. So no, it's not like we are not really.
And that's a very interesting part which you initially said, that in Arab culture, hospitality is paramount. Hospitality is being given the utmost importance. The kind of hospitality we are seeing, UAE is known for its hospitality. That's why tourism thrives here.
Of
It's
course.
still thriving despite there was this turbulent time that we have seen recently. There were this geopolitical problems going on, but still we have seen that this place has not lost its charm. People are
Yes.
still coming to UAE, to Dubai. The Arab hospitality in general, which is very much primitive, centuries or thousands of years old, and the one that we are seeing right now, is this the same? Does it comes from the real Arab culture?
Well, that's a very good question. The hospitality, it's a concept that you said it's from very long back, but you know, with all this modernization, with all the like Dubai, like it's a home for more than 200 nationalities.
Yes.
People come with their own beliefs, with their own backgrounds, perceptions of life, motives. I would say the basis would be that, okay, hospitality, you should be hospitable, you should be like welcoming people, and it just come from within. Like, it's not you have a script and you'll follow and you'll say things. But with all this multicultural impact that has happened, I think people has moved so much towards modernization, towards like maybe glamour, showing that, okay, hospitality should always, I think a lot of people now have it like kind of synonym, like hospitality, glamour, luxury, But at the end of the day, like if you look at hospitality, or what should hospitality really be, it is just a genuine welcome, a genuine, like you feel you are at home. Okay. And you will see a lot of hotels, and let's say around the world, especially in UAE, providing that kind of service. But the main question here is not that. The main question is these people who do this, like, what is going on with them? Mm-hmm. Is it the same? Like, we usually, being from an HR background, we usually say, okay, you should, as an organization, always take care of your people so that they take care of your guests. Okay. This is what mostly HR around the world will say. But is it really what's happening in our corporate or organizations? It is the case?
Unfortunately not. Yes, it is the case. What exactly Arab hospitality is? I just want people to know the Emirati hospitality. For example, in my culture, our hospitality is, if you have come to my home, I will make sure you eat. I'll bring everything. Like, okay, after every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I will ask you that, eat this and eat this. That's the way that we offer hospitality. What is the Arab culture, especially the Emirati culture, way of hosting a guest?
So the Emirati culture is like, okay, let's say we have a guest, we invite guests, or they come to our, actually, a lot of time in hospital, why they talk so much about hospitality in Arab culture? Because actually you don't invite, like, let's say we are in our home or in our area or whatever, like before, even when they had tents and all that, it's like people, they used to see people passing by, so they just used to go to them and ask them to become their guest.
Really?
Like, be my guest, please, be my, and they force them. Actually,
like strangers, complete.
It's just it was so much embedded in the culture. Like, it is, we consider it like a shame, or like not a very bad thing to see people passing by, or you don't offer them this to become your guest. To offer call them, make them be your guest, and then the hospitality that happened after that, like the way you seat them. They even say to that extent that if the home with the people were like, we were very poor in the past, they were not like what we see today. So if they had like one meal, this meal would be offered to the guest, and the people would sleep. They would just manage the children to sleep in some way.
Wow.
So they really value the guest to that extent. Now, in Arab Emirati also hospitality, there is a concept of so many things. There is like ways, like you come, you are offered food. They slaughter like the camel or the goat, the sheep. I don't know these things, and they will make
like
something
freshly made.
Freshly make. They cook at home. We call it. There's a very popular meal called عيش ولحم, يعني rice and meat.
Okay.
And it's a big thing. Like
I've seen that in
they
videos.
Put it in front of you, and they tell you. We said, okay, we ask our guests
I would
to
love to have
Wallah, we
someday.
said, like the men actually they sit and they ask
it.
and they feel it like, oh, we shouldn't eat with the guest. Like he will feel embarrassed, so we should let the guest eat.
Okay, amazing.
Hey,
amazing.
eat, and they say eat, and the guest خلاص يعني he eaten, and he's like, but لا. This is now first thing. So let's say they had the food and everything. There is also something like, okay, the bukhur, the perfumes, the local perfumes like oud and all. So they will have the second round of like basically this thing, the incense. Like they come, they make it do bukhur, and there is the Arabic coffee. That definitely
oh, yes.
You heard about.
That's amazing. That is one thing which is out of this world, no doubt in it.
There's a certain protocol actually also,
okay.
even in doing that. Like let's say if like a number of men are sitting, the youngest should be the one getting up and pouring the coffee, the qahwa, we say it.
Okay.
Because it will consider it very rude if people sitting, someone old pouring the qahwa while the youngest sitting.
Okay.
And there is a certain type of how they go around the room. It should be like from right to left. They should hold the cup and pour the qahwa or the coffee. It shouldn't be full. It should be to a certain extent the way they offer it. And then there is also a protocol when, for example, let's say you are the guest, you received qahwa, you drank it. If you give back, they will put again and give you. You give back, they put again and give you. What do you need to do if you don't want?
Exactly, I was about to ask.
You just shake it, do like this.
Then I'm done.
I'm done.
Oh, amazing.
So there are a lot of stuff like the way we do coffee, obviously the dates and the sweets with that. But yeah, I mean, this is something that...
Amazing.
Most,
So this is very interesting. I mean, because there are many people like me. Even we live in Emirates, but still we are getting to know this traditional form of hospitality for the very first time. Asking a stranger to come to your home, and and feeling very empty without a guest. If you haven't been able to host a guest, what exactly is the thought behind this? I am trying to understand because I haven't seen this in any culture where you just ask a passerby, could you please come to my home and share a meal with me? What's the thought process behind that?
I think it stems back from the fact that in Arab culture we see the guest like a very big let's say angel or blessing. I would say, I don't know how to describe it.
Sent by God.
But yeah, it's a blessing. It's your opportunity to actually offer the best you have in your home, whatever you can do, the best kind of treatment, because the thought behind it is the home or the house that doesn't have frequent guests, it is not blessed.
Oh.
So that's why, you remember I told you people actually go and people ask them to come actually and become a guest.
So they can invite blessings as well. Oh,
so
amazing.
and there are homes, like, in Arabic homes actually, if you even visited one, there is an area in the home, a special area called majlis. Like it's a key feature in any Emirati or Arabic home. We have the bedroom, the bathroom, and all these areas. There is a big area called majlis. Majlis, basically the place where the guests are seated. It is done in a certain way, decorated in a certain way to show that, okay, the welcome, even mostly it's the red or,
yes,
golden.
I've seen those red cushions there, yes.
Yeah, it's just like to give you the feeling that, okay, you are special, come here. And then you will see all sorts of things like the coffee, the dates, the nuts, everything. And they put the stuff and they welcome you. The thought behind it, as I told you, the blessing, inviting blessing, doing your best to show how welcoming you can be, how good you can be as a human,
It
you know?
is.
So I think it's externally rewarding, also internally rewarding for the host.
It is. And you know what? This culture, which was embedded in Emirati society, I have witnessed it, and I bear witness, I have witnessed it in every walk of life. The moment you land on this soil and you are at the airport, from putting your foot down from the plane to the immigration to baggage claim, from every part of that airport you walk through, you can feel that the energy of hospitality. As I said, it was embedded in the Emirati culture, the Arab culture. So you see that, and then you walk into a superstore, you walk into a theme park, you walk into a hotel, you see the same welcoming attitude, not just in Emiratis, locals, they are there, but in other people as well. People who have come from other countries and they are serving here in hospitality business. This is something that I bear witness. I have seen that.
Do we think about ourselves in the process? Now imagine 35, 40 years, how long this period is in someone's life? It's almost half of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
So half of your life, you are saying yes to everyone else. You are putting yourself last. And then coming and saying, everyone left, like the kids are grown up, the husband maybe is busy with something else, or I don't know what. There is maybe you lost the spark, like you said. Okay, what do I do in my life? Where do I stand with all this? Like, you know, as a woman, this is the premenopause or like the identity crisis. Because when did actually you looked at yourself or took some time to see yourself or to see what your needs are? What do you want from life? What are your ambitions or achieve, or like what are your dreams that you wanted to achieve? So that's a good opportunity. That's a good restart. Now that you have done everything, you became a good daughter, you became a good wife, you became a good mother. Okay, now the second half of life, it's purely for you.
This is amazing.
It's purely for you.
This is pure. This is very right. We haven't heard this thing before. I haven't heard this before. People say now, you know what? Now you are old. What do you need to do now? But this is amazingly.
This is how the women are being programmed.
Yes.
Oh, now you are khalas, you are old. Oh, no one will. For me, I have women, I told you, coming every single day. I talk to so many women who want to enter the job market. Like some of them I've never worked. Some of them have built careers, but then had to pause because of children or caretaking responsibility, whatever. But then now they're questioning themselves. Okay, do we still have a chance? Is there still time to do this? And I think by all means, yes, this is the right time to do this. And you have the rest of your life only for this, actually.
So are you listening, guys? Ladies, this is the right time. If you think that your prime is over, no, your time has just started. Enjoy your life.
Exactly.
But this is one thing which I get to hear from women. And you have so beautifully put, Mona, that see, they do everything and within that journey, they somehow lose themselves. And one day, in like after 40 years of her life, raising kids, raising husband as well, someone else's kid,
yes,
raising husband as well, and then providing for everyone, she looks herself in the mirror. And then she sees this wrinkles on her face, the tiredness that she is tired now. She has given all her energy, her beauty, her time, her prime for other people. And now she feels like I used to adore myself for my beauty. And I'm not anymore. I want you to tell, because you have seen such women, right? I want you to tell people that how can she come back to her life? What do you do for her to pull her out of that misery that she's suffering right now? The self-inflicted misery, I would say, that she thought in her mind that now that there are wrinkles, she can't do anything. How do you pull her out of it?
See, it's all a game of mindset. It's mindset. See, let's start from that very particular scene that you said, standing in front of the mirror, seeing the wrinkles, not recognizing even yourself. Okay, so I should be giving myself acknowledgement as a woman. I mean, acknowledgement. I've done all this. I've done all great things. I spent my life making other people's life better, because that's also part of service. I mean, we are all humans, and I come from this industry, so like hospitality. So I always think in terms of service, what value we can add to other people's life. So if you think in this way, just flip the thinking. Like as a woman, don't think, okay, halas, like I'm good for nothing now or whatever. There's no time, or I've missed the bus or the train. No, halas. I've done my part. I've given so many services to other people. That's a honor that I really hold. Like I made a lot of people's life good, but now it's my time. And in our religion, Ali, like you see in Islam, we have one concept which is mentioned so many times in the Quran. Like we call it dhulm al-nafs. Like Allah called it dhulm al-nafs. Like how do you make dhulm on yourself? Like what does this really mean? What does this word mean? And if you remember some of the verses, it's mentioned a lot of time, like Allah will forgive everything, but He will not forgive the dhulm. Allah doesn't love the zalimeen.
Cruelty upon your own self. Being cruel to yourself.
So when people hear this, they say, oh, dhulm on others. But why do they don't think I'm doing dhulm on myself?
So neglecting yourself completely is zulm al-nafs.
Zulm al-nafs.
You're being cruel on yourself.
Yes.
So that's very deep.
Zulm al-nafs. Why actually I'm saying this? Because with my time, like life, like and at a certain phase, I actually got to understand what dhulm mean. Like, because usually when we hear this verses in Quran or in any holy scripture, when people read it, they read it as if, applicable to other people.
Maybe like the one that you
Generally.
inflict on other people.
Play. But no, it's not. It's actually, when you read any holy script, it's like the source or Allah or the God's talking to you. Like ظلم النفس, he say you are doing wrong. So if you are someone, whether a man or a woman, you put yourself last always, you are the last in your priority list, how do you expect people to actually give you the chances or the opportunities, or if you will go to work, or your husband, or and this is something that I myself learned in a phase, in a little bit يعني later stage in my life.
That you can't put yourself in last.
Yes.
Otherwise, people will start treating you the way.
It's our culture. It's the way we have been brought up, especially as ladies, like as women. Okay. They always teach us, okay, listen to your parents, be obedient, okay, take care of your brothers and sisters. And I can totally relate to this. I'm being the eldest in my home. Like I have other 7 siblings. But if I recall my own story, and from the time I've kind of remember myself or have consciousness, I always remember that, okay, take care of this, take care of that, do this, help mama, help baba, your sister should be okay. And even my mother always remembers this one thing about me. She said, Muna, I was like maybe around 3 years or 4 years, very, very small, but she still remember, like at that age, I used to wake up in the night and check on my twin brother and sisters, cover them, and then go back to sleep.
Like you were 4 years of age at that time.
I was very young.
And you had this thing in you that you have to look after
everyone. Should be fine.
So this
My
is
mother
how
should
it's
be fine.
embedded in women.
Women, I'm
especially.
not talking even about Emirati women now. This is universal. This is universal, huh?
Yes.
But going back to this and here, like even seeing stories of other women, I can really now know.
You know what? I kind of relate to that. I have 2 daughters, alhamdulillah, and we are raising them in a very different way. You know, in not obviously according to our culture, but more emancipated, I would say. I don't know what happened, and since then there is a continuous practice by my daughter. My daughter is 8 years old.
Okay.
Something happened that one day I was offering my prayer, my salah, and she came and she placed a glass of water beside my musalla. Okay, I offered my prayer and after I called her that, why did you bring it? I said, I just felt like. It's been many months, and since then daily, 4 times a day, like 5 times she's sleeping on the fajr basically. 4 times rest of the 4 salahs, she comes and she places a glass of water on with my musalla. And I was like, where it came from? I still
it's the feminine. It's
surprised.
You know what? Actually, there are 2 parts to it. It's like one thing. It's the way Allah made us as females or as women.
Nurturing.
Our role, nurturing. I was going to say actually offering the emotional nourishment to others, like nurturing others. Really feeling a woman when I take care of people who I love, or I see other people having a good life, others as a result of me being there, nurturing them, helping them, supporting, guiding. And the other part, now this is where it gets really maybe a little bit too much, where actually the parents don't teach the girls in a very early age what is actually your nature as a female. Or that's fine if you enjoy giving baba a cup of water, that's all, by all means you can do it because it makes you happy, it makes you feel good. But is it something that, okay, you need to do because you are a woman expected to do?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's a very fine line.
True.
It's a very fine line that the parents have a very a big role here to play, so
Yes.
that the daughters, or when they grow up as women, they don't feel emotionally responsible for everyone around them.
That is very true.
You know?
That is very true. If you're doing this, that's a good thing, but you're not obliged to do that.
Yes.
I told my daughter as well
Yes.
that thank you so much. And every time she does that, I say thank you, but she's not obliged to do that. But this is absolutely right. Now, coming on to this point, a nurturing woman, Mona, like yourself as well. I just met Mona's kid and he's beautiful, he's adorable, mashallah.
Habibi.
A nurturing woman, can she be a good career woman as well and a nurturing woman? Because our society believes still that if a woman is a career woman and she's excelling in her career, she can't be a nurturing mother as well. She can't be a nurturing wife as well. Can she be both?
She can be both. It depends on the surroundings or the scenarios in her life. It depends, I think, in the first place, on how her self-concept or self-image. How does she see herself? Like, as a woman today, for example, when I think about myself, what do I see? What do I want to contribute to? Like, how do I see myself making value? Like in my life, where do I stand? Like, if I have, for example, the kid or the husband or my parents, versus, okay, I would love to make a career and I would like to excel at it. Now we talk in this kind of scenarios about something called what? The support system for the woman. The support system. And obviously it means the surroundings, let's say the husband, the parents, whoever can be there. Or it can simply be a group of women who are supporting each other in different aspects of life. Because let's say if there is a woman who has kids, but she's recently getting into a career or starting working, then this woman, these women underestimate the value of receiving guidance, having mentorship, or being in a circle of women who go through the same kind of life scenarios at this point. So when they do this, they learn from each other. Okay. They uplift each other. They, for example, if someone is disappointed, they can always cheer them up, for example. The woman they always say the woman is community. It's like community. Like, women cannot actually grow and thrive individually, because it's just the nature of women. Yani if you look at women, she's someone who have children, who create families, or who really nurture and make the home grow, So even if we look at career side, you need such networks that will help you career-wise to do it. But then it also depends in your personal life. Are you supported as a woman? How do you perceive support? Have you learned while you're growing to ask for support when you need it? Okay. Or you were told خلاص, you're strong, because you're a woman, you're strong, خلاص.
Yeah, because men, we don't want strong women beside us. I'm sorry, no offense to men, but generally this has been observed. Not all men are the same. I'm sure your husband, he supported you, that's why you're here. But there are men who don't want their women to excel. Because there is this one problem which often men point out. I'm not saying for me it's not a problem, but generally it is being said that if a woman gets into a leadership role, for example, like you are handling 40, 50 people that are working under you and you're leading them. So you have the ability of leadership, but with the same mindset you go home, and with the same mindset you want to lead the house the way you're leading your organization. And then there comes a clash, because men in our society, now when we say our society, is generally, I have coached people from around the world. So generally men don't want to be led by their wife. That's of course. An unfortunate thing, I would say.
That's nature. That's human nature, like instinct, we can say. But obviously, these kind of things can be trained, can be learned, behaviors and all that.
So, do you propose that men should start learning how to take a leader wife, or should a woman keep her leadership role at the organization, and when she comes to home, she becomes a wife only?
Listen, Ali, this is something that I would say people think that career and personal life are emotionally independent words. That's, of course, they are not. They are emotional. They are dependent. Like a lot of people, we have been hearing this at work area. During the career, leave your family issues at home and come to work, or leave your work at work and come to. It's not possible. You are dealing with a human being, right?
I would want you to explain that, because this is completely contrary to what people think, even completely contrary to what I think as well.
People always used to say, okay, when you come to work, and I'm talking about a time when I was obviously working in hospitality, a very human, operationally driven cultures, like people focused. So people expect people to come to work, leaving home issues at home, right? But and the vice versa. يعني when, for example, you go home as, let's say, woman or man or whoever, like you expected also to show up as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, wiping out everything that happened during the day. But it's not. It's not possible. It's not possible like this, because it's one human being. We are dealing with emotional being. That's not possible to do this. So let's say, going back to your question, do the woman start, or the man should actually start doing this? Actually, it's both responsibility. It starts from within. Like, for example, as a woman, and I realize this doesn't happen early in life, maybe for a lot of people because of, maybe emotional immaturity or lack of experience. But as you go in life, men, like I'm talking about, very emotionally mature men and emotionally mature women. At some point, you start realizing that, okay, as a woman, my role is actually at work is to nurture, like even what Allah created me to be, nurturing at home. As a woman leader, my work is not to go and bang the tables or act like men, because a lot of women forget this when they go to leadership position. They start behaving like men. And I think maybe that's what you were referring to.
Exactly. See, when they are in a leadership role, they have to somewhere, and I think you may disagree, but I believe they have to wear this masculine identity because they're dealing with patriarchal society around them. There are men around them. They have to be firm, they have to be rigid, they have to be very, I would say, strong with their emotions. They have to keep on their emotions behind the back door. So when they come home, if they carry the same aura at home, the same personality, where they have this masculine energy with them, husband is expecting a feminine energy. Feminine energy is soft, nurturing. Then there is a clash. And I'm not saying this is what I believe. This is what is commonly seen, by the way, right?
Yes.
Do you think a woman can easily switch between two different personalities when she get to work? She is that masculine leader woman. When she comes home, she is nurturing. Because if she brings her nurturer side to the work, people will eat her alive. She can't be
It's the balance, Ali. I told you. You remember the word I said, the balance. For me, like in life, I think it's the balance.
Okay.
Because again, at home, let's say, and a woman by nature, no woman would want to take the lead or to be the one who is, just going and followed by like her husband or something. No woman actually. By nature, if you ask any woman, they will say, I would love to relax and things are done for me. I'm being taken care of.
Okay.
So who is the trigger at home if the woman is trying to control or show the masculinity? It means the husband. Like the husband needs to realize that, okay, she has been having maybe a very difficult day at work because she had to wear this, let's say, kind of masculine energy to do her role or to perform her role well. But when she come home, there should be a husband who should be asking, allowing her to be.
Amazing. Yes. Allowing her to be in her feminine energy, so that where he takes the leadership role and let her.
She would never say, no, you stay, I will. I think mostly what happens, if women also taking this role to home, there's something wrong in
with
the
man.
With
the man. Yes. But this is very important. This is very important. Because I have worked with couples and I have worked with career women like you as well. They are thriving and excelling in their work. But they say that, Ali, when we come home, we want our man to take charge.
Yes.
Right?
That's absolutely true.
And the only reason I have seen women having their masculine aura in the house is because men are not upping the game. They're not doing their job.
Exactly.
They're not doing their work. Yeah, that's a big, they should be doing. So the blame today, in today's podcast, whoever is listening, the blame is not on the woman actually, that she's in her masculine energy. The blame goes to the man.
I would say both actually. Because, and this is one thing that I personally learned from my life and again, in a later stage. Because if you, for example, as a woman, self-awareness for women. Like, for example, let's say I want my husband to take care of me or take the charge or lead or whatever. But there are some areas in my life that I'm jumping and not allowing him actually to take the lead, for example. So it's come from both. It's men and women. And as women, also part of feminine energy, the woman need to be okay with asking. With
Okay.
يعني if I need my husband to do something, I say, please do this. I mean, in a way, but a lot of women sit and wait for husband to read their thoughts or to maybe understand her emotion and go do what she wants. But always we say clear communication. Because we are also at work, we talked so much about clear communication, like how it is very important for building business, for building teams. Clear communication might be the difference between failure or success at work. It can be at home as well. Because if, okay, there's one part that the man needs to take the lead, but woman should be also asking if she wants. Because a lot of time we feel like, I will not ask him, maybe it's not, maybe we'll feel, I don't know, we say things in our mind. I caught myself
And
actually,
it
and I
mostly
had so many
happens
women.
with women who are actually doing good at work, and they get things done just by because there's certain protocol people have to follow, and things get done. So they find it difficult for to ask to their husband.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
a very very important
Because
point.
you say that they bring this musk, but then you need to actually, if you are self-aware, you just step back and say, okay, who am I being now? Like I'm at home now, so who am I being? Like the leader or the boss or whatever, or the wife, the mother. So we have in coaching something called like, the anchor and the hats.
Okay.
So which hat I need to wear now as a woman? So wear that hat and get into the role, like basically.
So I have seen like women running entire companies, and unfortunately, not everyone, of course, but there are many cases where the house they were trying to build, it wasn't the way they wanted actually, and it was more of a chaotic household, a home they couldn't build. Then people blame the work, that because she is working, that's why it's happening. Is it really the case that it's because she was working, that's why she couldn't build a house, a home, a nurturing home? Or was that the problem with her own capability, not the work? Who to blame, Mona?
I think there are a couple of aspects for this one. It's no one person to blame.
Okay.
Neither the work, neither her own capability. I spoke about the support system.
Yes.
The woman needs an environment where they can thrive. And you remember we spoke earlier about, how the UAE built up the government, how they are actually pushing women to go and do things. Now imagine with the people who come from tribal areas, for example, in this country or any other country, the kind of beliefs there, the way they look at women, the very limited scope that the society have built for a woman, being a woman, especially in tribal areas, I'm talking, not having a leadership like UAE, for example, who say, what would you expect that, I mean, every woman would be kind of born and grown already knowing her destiny, kind of, a very normal life. But the shift happens when the support comes from the top, So
the leadership has given ultimate
education.
support.
They made it a must. Women should be must be educated to a certain level. There is no, choice about it.
Okay.
It must be educated. And then opening the work, like even now, like I'm coaching, for example, the specialty coaching that I'm doing is especially, you heard maybe about the Emiratization, opening the private sector, the chance for Emiratis to enter the private sector. So I'm actually working a lot with Emiratis who are new to private sector, men, women, but it's just the government push that we need people, locals in this sector and this industry. We need a certain number of quota or target by this period of time. So now giving them all these life skills, I would say it's not work or it's capability, it's work, it's your own environment, it's your trauma as a person, like what you have been taught. Like how are you actually going about your life? Like, do you always work or walk your life to please people because this is what you have been taught as a woman. Like what is the playing factor here? So I would say there is no one thing to blame. There is a combination of things and scenarios that a person is in. The one thing that can take a person from a place where he or she feel they don't belong to a place where they are thriving is self-awareness.
Okay.
Self-awareness, because when I know the way I am being contributed to the situations I'm in today, I would maybe act differently or take different choices or whatever. But we really want always to throw the blame on husbands or on work or on bosses, but it's like we are like individuals. Like Allah, even Allah, on the day of judgment, He will bring us one. Like
Yeah.
one.
True.
You are responsible for yourself. Okay, there is no father, no mother, no husband, no son, daughter. La. You will come and be asked about what you did throughout this journey of life. So we always say like to people, خلاص, consider yourself now in the day of judgment, because there are times in life where you will look around, you will not see anyone.
True.
So-
But do you feel that women, especially who are doing so well in their careers, in this society as well, on the top they are alone? Do they get alone because, and again, people and the society which is very much patriarchal around us, it gets very hard for them to accept her leadership role. Okay, that she is the leader. Does that happen to you as well as an Emirati, or does that happen to every woman you came across?
It happens to everyone I came across.
Okay. People don't accept you easily as a leader.
It's and it's about like when I said self-awareness, it's also you how to deal with these situations, because see. And there are a lot of funny things actually in the corporate world about this. Like, have you ever seen, Ali, a training program called Preparing Men for Leadership? Or we always see, okay, preparing women for leadership position or women leaders. Why do we have to say this? Like, it's
Like,
implying.
why do you have to prepare them? Exactly.
It's implying that, okay, she doesn't know how to lead. Let's teach her. We men will teach her, for example.
Wow.
So there are so many funny things that actually you see when you work in the corporate world and how things are perceived. And even the way, for example, workplaces are designed. If you go to a lot of I don't know if it became better these days because everyone talking about diversity, inclusion, women and all that. But a lot of workplaces don't even have a proper break rooms for women. They still use, I'm not talking really particularly about UAE, but generally, they don't have break rooms. They don't have areas where women can go and just take breaks or pray even, or go and, like, they don't have these things. They don't have such benefits. Like for me, wallah, sometimes I'm thinking if I open my own company one day, there will be and I heard recently a lot of companies doing this, which is I think should have been done earlier.
True.
Like they give a lot of women recently, some companies they start giving them prolonged leaves for when they become mothers, when they have some family crisis. It doesn't have to be from their annual leave, for example. Some companies, very interestingly, they also give women a paid leave when they have their monthly periods.
That's very considerate of them.
That's very supportive. I was so amazed, actually, because no one think about these things. Actually, they are very small things, but it can make the difference between you encouraging the woman to stay in the workplace for longer, or just leaving because she had to take care. Like, I can relate to my own story. Like, I built a career 15 years of so much of hard work in an industry which was really difficult to thrive and climb the ladder. But then there was a time in my life, and I'm sure a lot of women who are listening to us will relate to this, childcare responsibilities. I mean, the moment I became a mother, I had to choose between my career or my kid, So I obviously instinctively, I picked my kid. And I've left my career at that point. But in the beginning, I really struggled from the decision because it was a total identity shatter. Like it shattered my, because I've seen and perceived myself in a certain way so many years. But now here we come, like a mother with a baby. Who am I actually? Who am I as Mona now? I'm not the leader. I'm not the HR director. I'm not the hotelier. Who am I?
Well, this is a very interesting point because you started off with this identity crisis, right? And it all comes back to this.
Exactly.
This is very interesting.
This is where it happened.
Exactly.
In the beginning, I thought it is like, what did this happen? And this is, imagine like with this period of like, newly being a new mother, going through everything that a mother go through in the first, after having a first child, not knowing a lot of things, leaving my total identity, career related, just leaving it and being a full-time mother, and really being so much scared, actually. Scared from it. I was so scared. No one knew that, but I was so scared. I didn't know how to navigate what would be next for me. And then the interesting part happens that when I actually was about to re-enter, now this is another category that I'm currently serving very well. Mothers who left the job market and want to re-enter. Do you know, Ali, the number of hardships or like challenges they're facing to re-enter?
True.
Emotionally, skill set wise, even in terms of like knowing the job market and whether you are ready for this job market, the emotional support, okay, changing your lifestyle, like you have been a mother now for a period of time, but okay, you are going to go back. How would your day-to-day life look like now with the new change?
And how would the company support you with that change? Because obviously you may not be able to provide the services or the time or the energy that you used to provide. There will be some fluctuation. How will your husband protect you and support you with this new life? A lot of challenges.
There are a lot of if you get the deeper you get into it, there will be so many things that we can actually sit and talk for long hours here about just the challenging women's face, but no one knows about. It's especially like this. I always say the identity. Why? Because as we go as women in our lives, we really have a lot of deaths and rebirths inside us.
Yes, that is very
Wallah,
true.
they talk about you giving birth to a child. Of course, that's a big thing. But
that's a near-death experience, by the way.
Near-death experience. How? It's not one time, not two time. In every different role or step or journey that you are going to step into, you need to allow the old version of you to die and the new version to just evolve.
True. That is so true.
And it's not easy if you are not having the right support system. Again, there are a couple of words that will see me repeating because from my own personal experience versus plus from what the women I talk to every day.
And it's a shout out to all
the similar universal challenges.
Universal, exactly. Wallah. No, it's not just about one community or one nationality. I have seen this happening everywhere, maybe Western society as well. And again, shout out to all the husbands who support their wives with all this, because their support is very much needed. Talking about the identity crisis, my mind is still stuck there actually. We have heard this term commonly affecting men a lot, that this particular man is going through an identity crisis. And how is it defined? It is defined in a way that, okay, he's in his 40s now, he had a humble beginning, he worked all his life, and now that he's stable, he doesn't know, there's no more challenge left for him, so he is going through an identity crisis. Mortality is hitting him, that okay, he's in his mid-40s, after 60, 70, he'll die. So mortality is hitting him. So what I have seen mostly happening during identity crisis is men start having an affair.
Or have a second marriage.
Have a second marriage, exactly. Because he's going through identity crisis, he needs to reinvent himself and his youth. In order to feel that, he has to marry someone young or have an affair with someone young. What happens to women when they go through the identity crisis?
It's the part where I mentioned to you that you have taken care of everyone, and when you said you look at the mirror yourself, you see the wrinkles, and you realize, okay, maybe 40 years have passed, and who am I? Yani, what have I done to myself?
So sorry to interrupt you, because I have not seen women most often after their identity crisis, going out and having an affair and having a second marriage and taking divorce from their husband. It happens in one part of the society, which is the Western society, by the way. But in our Asian society, I have seen Arab or Indian, no, it doesn't happen. So that's why I was thinking that men have an outlet. When they're going through their identity crisis or midlife crisis, we call, they have an outlet. They will have an affair, or they will have a second marriage or third marriage. I have not seen women doing any of this.
Men
Where
and
do
women,
they?
hey, exactly. Men, Ali, men and women, obviously, Allah built us differently, emotionally different, mentally different, physically different. So when you talk about men, they will go and do the thing that will make them feel younger or more excited. And I mean, it can be the marriage or the affair.
Yeah. It's
for
not
most of them.
justified, by the way, but yeah, they
Hey,
do
but
that.
it can be that, and obviously yes, it's not justified, but it can be. Mostly we see that. The women though, because they are mostly into the. You remember I told you, women is like they thrive in communities.
Yeah.
Women, emotional being. So mostly the change that will come to a woman's life after 40s or premenopause, that part of her life, she will realize I've given so much to others. Where am I in this equation? Like, where do I fit? Where is my place? So then she start actually restarting. When you said she restart a new life, where the number one priority will be me as a woman. You know, and that include. I will tell you different pictures of that. So it will be, for example, if I'm not working, I've never worked in my life, I will go and work.
Okay.
Enter the job market. If I don't know this, if I need to learn new skills, I will go. For example, you see women going, attending, learning. You see, I saw actually a lot of women during this particular age going and are very keen to learn more about feminine energy. What is, like, what does this mean to me? How do I become feminine? How do I, like, what is really the woman? Like, how do I should behave? How does this impact my life? Going and having communities, like, let's say getting to know a group of women. So I saw a lot of women going attending networking events, for example, during this age, and I experienced it because I was going as a professional at that point. But many women who come to those kind of events, not working in the field. Let's say if it's an HR event or leadership event, I see a lot of women who are from different walks of life, but they came to build a community, to know new people, to see new faces. So it becomes all about me as a woman and what else there is in life to explore or to learn about. So the second phase becomes more about what is more there for me to see or to do.
And does that happen that even during that reinvention, now because she's trying to become a completely different person, to which people are not used to of seeing,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Does she get to have the resistance? She get to face the resistance during that transition as well? Because she has done her part. She has been a mother, a wife, a good daughter as well. She gave everything she had to other people. Now she is in that crisis where she needs to reinvent herself. Does she meet another resistance from the society that why do you need it now?
Of course.
Look at yourself, you're
She
old
will
now.
Definitely, you know how the society usually, they, as I said, they put women in a certain place or in a very limit, like there's this scope that you can
Operate
see
in
or
there,
operate in or whatever. But here, when I told you, they go and learn more about themselves, about feminine, about what are other skills that will be good to know, and then it will help them actually to, let's say, if they still face the resistance or they still, for example, someone came up that's supporting their new kind of lifestyle, they now have the ability to actually say no or stand up for
exactly.
themselves. Did you see how women became, and I actually hear this because a lot of, I will just talk about my own life. Like, for example, my husband, before the period before I come to this stage of my life was like totally different relationship. But then after this stage, the men start, like, generally who are not supportive, they start saying things like, you changed, you're becoming like your mother. You're becoming like your
yes.
mother. but
As if they know their mother.
but what does this mean? Yani, it's just to give an example. But what does this mean? It means every woman she reached a point in her life where she internally felt she did all her best for everyone. Now it's time for her. But then if the surrounding are not supportive, they will start always throwing these kind of comments, trying to say, well, this is not right. You are just stepping out of your limits, or that's not appropriate. They're not appropriate.
Who defined those limits?
Exactly.
Yeah,
The society is
The
defined.
society
You said the patriarchal society. Exactly. This is what happens. But then I said, like, let's say in a younger age, most women don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
Because they don't know themselves. They explored and reached to their maturity, emotional maturity, mental maturity in this age. So now they have the ability to actually push back and say, well, tell me what's wrong with what I'm doing.
Oh, yes.
Very, yani, it's not
Exactly.
about being stubborn. This is a
And
big
no,
difference.
we are not used to seeing it.
It's very well, as men, if a man sees it, they will say, well, she's being very stubborn. She's not listening to me. But no, actually, it's not. I want to be stubborn. Please tell me what's wrong in this. Like, what do you see not appropriate in this? So, talking back, or pushing back, or maybe saying no to certain things, which is if the society is generally like this, or perceive a woman a certain way, would not accept
No,
the
they
new
won't do
change,
that.
the new
Okay,
restart.
okay.
But women still will do it, because khalas, like they say, she have found your. I mean, there is one beautiful saying. I've even I wrote it in my book. It's like, can I say this? Can I say the
Yes,
quote?
please, please.
It's in my chapter 1. It's part of my self-discovery when I was discovering myself as a human being. I say something like, it doesn't matter who you lose if you have found yourself.
Ah, okay. That is very true.
That every woman after 40, she's like this, like literally.
But this is before we further delve into it, I
Wallah.
would want you to be introduced with this amazing book. Yes, I have not completely read it because Mona ji, she just gifted this to me. And this is Beat the Odds, the exclusive hoteliers guide. Upsell yourself and succeed in a high occupancy job market. So if you are a woman, I mean, it's good for men as well. You should read it, but especially if you are a woman, you really need to read this if you want to upscale yourself. And I'm a very strong proponent of women emancipation, especially the financial one. That if you really want the injustice to stop and the
Yes.
suffering to stop, the one thing a woman should have, she should be financially independent. I have seen women suffering just because they can't afford the burden of
That's
their
so
own
true.
selves.
That's so true.
And they are in the toxic marriage, toxic relationship, toxic environment. So this is very important for all of you. And I will paste the link in the description from where you can buy it. I think, yes, that will be the right thing to do. So in the description, you will find the link of this book. You can get it. You can buy it for yourself. You can gift it to your wife. Yeah, that's the
It's
best
like
thing
a
you can
career
do.
guidebook. Actually, and Ali, thank you for the introduction about the book. But in chapter 1, I consider it the most, it's like I take my heart and I put it in the book. Like, really my mindset as a girl in tribal background, environment, how women's being perceived in that kind of environment, how much they say no to things to you. Like, you kind of born and grow up already knowing your destiny. Like, I will just grow up, I get married to someone, I will khalas, this is my life. But why I say beat the odds? Because my thing is no, my destiny will not be like this. And you know what? I will go and work, and I will go and work in an industry that you think is not good for women. Women cannot succeed in such industry.
It is commonly perceived.
Emirati women at that point.
Okay.
That's the when you see, like, for example, when you see your life, I realized this after like 17 years of working. I've realized the connection, the chain, because I'm a daughter of a woman who was like, really, I see her suffering every day, and she didn't have, you said financial, and she didn't have financial independence. She had a lot of children to take care of.
Yes.
She was married in a place where from her different nationality. I've seen the story. So it's like now you know, like really where I'm coming from, like why I picked this industry specifically,
yes.
why I said I will actually not only work in hospitality, but I will lead in hospitality.
Well, mashallah, there
And
you
I
are.
will lead in not in small hotels, in 5-star luxury hotels. I will then after my child, I decided actually if and when I wrote the book, I put everything that I've done that made me do that at that
Okay.
point. As per like in terms of career tips, the things that approaches that I've used that mostly professionals will hesitate to use, but beating the odd mean going every single day, acting differently. Like you know the how Dubai and UAE is
Yes.
beating the odds, doing the odd things that
Yes.
then will become really known or like successful or
A guideline for others as well,
create
yeah.
a new path for others. So the career, even the same thing, the career coach thing came up like, okay, so if I have done this myself, when I coach people who go through, women especially, who have this kind of financial difficulties or whatever, or don't know how to work or build their successful career, I can relate with them to my experience. So they usually, the impact on the coaching session is so big because they see a normal girl who come from a very simple background. No one knew her or like no one thought even she would, but she have done it. So why you can't do it?
Well, that's very interesting because, and it's a motivation for all the women who are saying, the girls who are saying, in this book you have laid down all those pathways through which you reach to a point where you
Yes.
are, you are mashallah thriving,
Yes.
and you did not have an ideal scenario.
No.
Right? You had all the difficulties, the obstacles that you have to overcome. So you have gone through everything which any common woman in our society would
Exactly.
have to go through to reach to this
Yes,
point.
exactly. Not Emirati woman.
Any woman,
just
I
minded.
said, yeah.
It's any woman because
Yeah.
for me, and my even during time, I was coaching women who was aiming for leadership roles. But not knowing to do that because they come from societies where they were told like no, it's not good to be leader or you cannot do it or no, you will sacrifice your family if you go to a leadership position. So no,
Now,
it's
you
not
have
true.
laid down all those pathways.
There are so many stories, actually,
Stories,
in the
yes,
book.
exactly.
There
Real
are so
life
many
stories
stories.
for you because it's not just the theoretical stuff that you have laid down, the real life stories through
Stories.
which you can drive examples. But one thing I would like to add that thanks to our leadership, now a lot has changed.
Wallah, hey, that's so
Lot
true.
has. I have seen women, Emirati women, and women from other cultures as well. They are leading. They are doing something exceptional. One thing which is very much part and parcel of UAE's life is the safety of the women.
Of course.
I mean,
Of
my
course.
wife, my 2 daughters, I am not worried at all. They are where they are going right now. They are alone back at home. The safety, the one place on earth which I would call a heaven for women in
Of
in terms
course.
of safety, because
100%.
women haven't been safe around the world.
Yes.
We have talked about other societies as well. I don't want to name any particular one, but this one place has been a blessing for women. I think that's the most supporting factor for a woman. See, there might be other societal odds or there might be other cultural barriers in front of a woman which she has to pass in order to reach where you are right now. But one thing which you may not have to worry, or any other woman who's living in UAE, in Emirat, has to worry that, okay, I might be harassed at my workplace, I might be catfished at workplace or any other place. Somebody must be following me to my home or my workplace. This is, I would want you to talk about that. No woman here has to worry about
That's
this.
so true. Actually, you know what? When you said just now the safety, I just thought, one of the really primitive needs in any woman in the world is safety.
Yes.
And if let's say alhamdulillah يعني by God يعني alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have this kind of government, of this kind of leadership that support us, that safety is taken care of. Now we as women, or whether Emiratis or other women living in this country specific, step up.
Yes.
Like now, no, you work on the other types of safety: financial safety, emotional safety. Even like when you say emotional safety, it's what? It's knowledge, it's learning, continuous learning. Because one key aspect of my career itself was continuous learning, upskilling. Because especially Dubai and UAE, very quickly changing. Like we are living actually in a world that's quickly changing. But when you talk about Dubai and UAE, it is particularly true for this part of the
True.
world. So upskilling, learning, training, having communities. This safety comes from different aspects: financial safety, emotional safety. So with time, you will flourish as a woman.
It
Because
does.
you have everything. يعني already
Yes.
the aspect of the safety that you said, taken care of, alhamdulillah, by the government. But the other aspects now, as a woman, my role is to work on them, to make them, and even to preach others how to do.
Exactly. You have very rightly said, Mona, that government has laid down the foundation. And the
exactly.
biggest road they have paved for you is you're safe. You go wherever you want, you do whatever you want. There will be challenges. Obviously, nothing
course.
can be done without a challenge.
Part
There will
of
be a
life.
challenge.
Hey,
Part
hey,
of life. But the biggest challenge, safety, which we have seen in other first world countries as well, is safety. And here, women, maybe she's alone or with her mahram or anyone else, she's safe. That's the
safe.
best part. We are almost at the end of this podcast, and
Okay.
time passed by and
was
didn't
so
even
interesting.
realize
I didn't even
exactly.
realize it, right.
It was so interesting. We have been able to capture a huge part of a woman's life, especially a career woman life. Advice which you felt that changed your life, and now you are here. What would be that advice that you would want to give it to other, and especially women who are watching?
Women. Education. Education, continuous learning, skilling, upskilling. If you notice, if you maybe read about my journey, I think even chapter 1, I've read about it. Like, one thing that have inspired me really about this, maybe built the spark for the entire of my life, is the fact when going back to my childhood, when I recall my mother really trying to convince my mother that Muna must go to school. Muna, at those times, like I entered school, like I finished the primary education at that point, and the discussion was about, my father said, "Khalas, she finished the primary, like the secondary, like the main education. Now she should get married." My mother said, "No, why she should get married? I want her to go to college because why she didn't get the education? She wanted us to get educated." That's inspired me so much that I said in هذا والله I will get the highest level. So I just recently finished my doctorate actually last year. And it's a pride for my mother, because he wanted us daughters. I have 4 sisters other than me. I'm the eldest. We are all very highly educated. I would say to every woman, get educated. So my mother convinced my father, and I went to college, and here I am today. But I think, wallah, our government, I told you at the beginning, Sheikh Zayed, Allah yarhamah, the founder, yes. He actually wanted all girls to be educated in the UAE.
That's a great vision.
Must. For now, you see now, like not even primary or secondary,
higher education,
higher, bigger roles in the even National Council, international representation for women, Emirati women. So I would say to every woman, wallah, education is one thing that no one can take from you.
It can't be taken from you.
No one can take from you. I don't think it can take from you. But
yes,
your brain,
and that is one
mind.
thing which can lay down the foundation for you to have your own standing, especially after that particular time when you are going through the identity crisis.
Yes.
That will work
that
for you.
helped me, wallah, so much, whatever I knew. And adding, actually, the challenge at the point was to actually go and unlearn and relearn.
Yes, exactly.
That's very important. Because
indeed.
It's just the awareness that, I've been doing this and I've benefited from it, but now what version of myself should be to get to where I need to go. So going and learning all those new skills, or taking all those qualifications that will allow me to be there. Alhamdulillah, but education.
Important.
Yeah.
Mona, thank you so much It is such a profound honor to have you on this show. You're the very first Emirati to be on my show.
Thank you, Allah.
And
I was
it
so happy when you invited, when you spoke to me that day. I was really said, wow, because I've been watching your podcast.
Thank you so
and seeing
much.
your videos. I really can relate also as a woman so much to the topics you are talking about. So you are also doing an amazing job.
Thank you
Ali.
so much. It means a lot because people like you who give the feedback and appreciate it makes us work more towards that cause. But thanks to you, the kind of conversation you did, it's not just about for one community, for one nationality. It was about every woman who was watching, maybe from any nationality, and the challenges that you have overcome. Again, I would recommend, if you really want to know that we all have challenges of different sort. It's not just about some particular obstacles and challenges, but if you really want to beat those odds, then do read Beat the Odds by Mona AlHebsi. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
on
much,
the
Ali,
show.
for having me. Thank you so much.